This is what we talking about today, folks.
You're still alive. Huh? You're right. That is strange. You are a demon, right?
Enough of this nonsense. Give us the jump bot parts already.
I don't have anything like that.
Then tell us who does.
But I can't just keep talking to demons like this.
Single moms are so DTF. I hit it, quit it, and report the bitch to DCF. It's an appropriate song for the topic.
Who the hell are you? We don't take kindly to outsiders just...
We'll be on our way as soon as we get what we came for.
Yeah, I've heard that one before. We don't need even more problems.
Problems?
Ain't none of your business. Now scram!
Wait, do you know anything about a core frame for a jump bot?
You're a persistent one, ain't ya? Fine. Go talk to 4. He's handling all the problems we've been dealing with lately.
We're not here to talk about these problems of yours.
Just go already. Betcha he has the info you need too.
Wow! Look at all these gems! Hey, can I look around a bit?
Sure, but don't get lost.
Hey!
Say, there's supposed to be a price on our heads, right?
Yeah, we'll have to be on the lookout for not just the army, but bounty hunters as well.
Wait, is Anne wanted too?
Oh, why, Prince? Don't tell me you're worried about her.
No. It just sucked big time if our bots broke down and we didn't have her around to fix them.
So as was previously stated, there's a fucking lot to do in this game, including bounty hunting and all type of shit.
You really need to ask.
So, some of y'all who follow my little channel at Ice Lord TM might know that I did something with a game that I never thought I'd do in my life. I never thought I'd be the person to be like, I have to write the SRB about this. I have to write the ESRB. This is not right. This is not right. I do not want kids exposed to this. And that game was Sandland. Now, Sandland, as I'm about to show you, is a very cartoony, anime-style adventure game. Imagine you took Metal Gear Solid 5's Afghanistan section, crossed it with Mad Max, crossed it with Dragon Ball Z, had Akira Toriyama do all the art for the shit, but you're Beelzebub and Satan's your dad, and it shows both y'all in the game repeatedly. Now, initially, and people who follow my little channel know I felt very strongly about this.
Oh, parts and info are how we junkers pay the bills.
You can see the influence from Toriyama in it heavily. Look at the bounty hunters. They're called the swimmers.
Come on. I'd give my left arm for a chance at Supreme Commander Zeu.
Papa! It's a tank!
Nice going, Pike! I knew we'd score us a catch! All right, get in position!
So one cool thing is every time you call a vehicle, you throw a little Pokeball out, and it's like Capsule Corp. People who follow my little channel know I felt very strongly about this. I felt there should have been some type of content descriptor stating, because the box art and shit makes it look just like this is Dragon Ball Z Metal Slug. That's what the box art makes you think. And all it says is comic or mischief or violence. Like one of the lesser cartoon violence, I think, was the thing that it had. And I had called it the most dangerous game in existence when I first spoke on it. That hasn't changed very much. If the person who's playing it plays it all the way through, like then that's sort of changed a little. Because I had to get a little further into it, and I started realizing it's not about making satanic, demonic entities seem cool as much as it is about making them become human. Okay? And I haven't even finished the game yet, but seeing things that have happened in the story, that makes it very clear what's going on. For example, you see Beelzebub start to care about this character named Anne, who's a human. And it's very subtle, but it picks up quick. You see him start to care about the people that he's around. And the way that Satan is presented, he's a very strict father, but the type of strict father that usually made some mistakes when he was younger, so that's why he's strict. So it's very interesting. My thing still stands. I still feel like the ESRB should have a ratings descriptor for when things contain satanic related imagery. You know, there was never no violent panic, but there was a satanic panic. And for just to appease the Christians in the world who, I've revised my viewpoint on this, because I had said when I originally spoke on it that I would let my kid play the PC version of Manhunt before I ever let him even knew this game existed. And that was at a very face value, just the fact that it seemed to try to make Satanism and demons seem less harmful than they really are. But now that I've played it a little bit, I still feel like they should have some type of content descriptor there for that. But I don't think it's as harmful as it seemed at face value if the kid plays the whole way through. Like I would let my kid play this. I would let Juju play this shit on the condition he played all the way through and I was there to explain context. I find it very dangerous to just, when there's media influences that portray especially Satanism in a positive light, I find that extremely dangerous to children, especially because all children sort of go through a rebellious phase where they might try to, I've known numerous kids who have said they were Satanists or whatever just for shock value. I've known several kids who were legitimate Satanists. Satanism in itself I don't find too dangerous. As a Christian, I find it actually easier to deal with people who are Satanists that may be trying to line me up than people who are Christians. And that's a whole other video for a whole other time. But, you know, I could say that some of the Satanists I know were some of the most peaceful people I ever knew in my goddamn life. I've also seen a satanic cult that I believe was committing blood sacrifices across the street from a park I used to live at. So I could say I view it as a dangerous thing when things try to present Satanism, especially in a game that's sort of marketed to kids in a negative or in a positive light. When the game first came out, it came out right after Toriyama died, and that was always a little peculiar to me. Seeing the content matter of the game, I feel like Toriyama maybe had been holding off trying to actually work on it and finish it. Maybe because when you get older, regardless your religious viewpoints or anything like that, you get to a point where you don't want other people to make the same mistakes you did. Like, I'm a gangster. I don't want my kid to have to do the same gangster shit I did and have to go to prison like I did and have to learn from being hard-headed like I did. Makes me wonder if maybe Toriyama was holding it up and they knocked him off to get it out the door. I don't know. But I'm going to say it like this. I think my viewpoint, like I said, has been somewhat revised. I don't find it as dangerous as I initially did, given if I were there to provide context for my son and be there, and he had to play the whole thing. You have to play the whole main story all the way through. And that'll only be a finalized decision I come to once I beat it and I realize, like, okay, that's what the storyline is. Okay. Because it makes it a little bit different, because in a way I would see why you did that, because you're trying to say, listen, even things that are literal demons and the devil can change and become a better person. And the game is very fun. It is extremely fun. That was part of what made me say it was dangerous, is it's such a fun game. And the last thing you want to do is make anything satanic or demonic look fun. But now that I see where the story seems to be going, I don't have as much of a problem with it. Like I said, granted, as long as my kid plays through the whole storyline, I would let him play it. My main fiend, 90 years old, he gonna die using. But like I said, so like some of y'all might be like, but Mac Bundles, you would let your kid play Brigador? You let your kid play Brigador? You let your kid play a literal game about staging mass shootings in a mech to get money? Yeah, I would. It's not very graphically violent. Like, top down, no matter how violent it is, can only be so violent. Like, it's gonna be cartoony no matter how realistic you try to make it. Something like running with rifles, which is extremely realistic to a point of being like Arma that's top down. It's extremely cartoony still. Even with all the drug references and shit in Shadowrun, I let him play Shadowrun. Probably well before he was of the age where he was supposed to be playing that. And it's because the gameplay in Shadowrun, it promotes thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, and as a kid, I could see it being easier for you to do something turn-based than something reflex-based. Yeah, there's a lot of games that a lot of parents would probably be like, you would let your kid play that? And it's like, listen, if I'm there to give them the context, I don't see the problem. You know, the ESRB is really only there as a advisory to, like, it's really only there as a suggestion. You know what I'm saying? Oh, the good thing about America, they're allowed to outlaw sale. They can't outlaw you possessing very much unless it's drugs or illegal firearms. Like when they can't make you take TikTok off your phone. But I let him play this if he played through the whole campaign and I was there to give him context. You know, I think the reason I found it so dangerous is, especially to certain types of kids. If you have that edgelord kid with a short attention span who's not gonna play through the whole campaign and just do like the side missions and shit, I could see it being potentially dangerous. Only because it made, like, not even Grand Theft Auto tried to make Satanism look like it was a positive. You see what I'm saying? And the fact that there's no content descriptor for satanic references is a problem to me, in general. Satanism is more dangerous than any type of violence, any of that shit. I would say if played in the wrong context, a game like this could be more dangerous than hatred. Think about even games like Devil May Cry, where it was always, whenever there was a game that had a satanic reference, you were fighting the satanic reference. That's what makes this, in my opinion, dangerous. You are the satanic reference. And now that I've played a little more of it, I could say, okay, it's not that bad like I thought, but it's still enough to where I feel like the kid should have some type of guidance, he'd only see it wasn't like that if he played the whole campaign. Like, I would tell my kid, listen, if you're going to play this game, you got to play this game all the way through to the end. And that's only once I figure out that, okay, the story really is going where it seems to be going. I'm not going to let the media influence my kids into some type of bullshit. Like, Satanism's worse than killing somebody. You being a Satanist and you being a Christian who committed murder, probably gonna be worse for the Satanists in the afterlife. I'm gonna throw some gameplay in this bitch with some commentary. I'm out this bitch.